All right, channel members, welcome back to another video. This one is us working on dusting the wheel, which we're doing now with a microfiber cloth to try to get all of the little particles off of the wheel, so then we can coat it with our final coat of tung oil and turn it from this kind of dusty brown into a deep dark brown that you'll see in a little bit. Thank you guys again so much for being channel members. It really does mean a lot to me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and this is just a little way of me saying thank you by giving you guys a behind the scenes look at the finishing of this wheel. Okay, so here I am using a foam brush and I am applying a mixture that is approximately 25% tung oil and 75% citrus solvent. And basically, each subsequent layer of this mixture has been less. So the first mixture was 50-50, 50% tung oil, 50% solvent. Then the second mixture was about, I guess, 75-25. And this one, I guess, is more like 90-10. Each time I basically poured more citrus solvent into my existing jar of mixture to thin out the oil further each time. We don't want the oil to get thicker each time because it makes the sanding process harder. And at this point, we don't want to have to sand anymore, so we don't want a ton of oil going on to the wood, or we don't want a lot of excess oil going onto the wood. We want just enough to be able to penetrate the wood, and that's it. So we've got to make sure that we coat all the little pieces and all those little grooves in the spokes. Take a little extra time and just make sure that I'm coating it as thickly as possible. This is what's nice about this finish is that you can kind of just like slop it on. There's no drips or anything like that you have to worry about because as you'll see later, you allow it to sit on the wheel and then you wipe off the excess before it becomes tacky. And here is where you can really see the difference. Once you get a new coat of oil on the wheel, you can really see the depth of the color come out and it looks so good. wood, and I'm so excited. Um, it really does allow the wood to sing and just bring out all the nuances of the grain of the wheel, and it's going to be really awesome. Now you can see that I start picking at my foam brush right there, and that's because those little grooves are crammed full of dust. And luckily, because this is an oil finish and it is not a lacquer finish, it's okay, because it's going to come off. If this was a lacquer finish, I would have had to be really a lot more careful, because lacquer is anything that you put into it, it's going to stay in it. So all the dust that's in those two racing stripe grooves would stay there and like be clumps, and that would be terrible. But thankfully, it isn't like that with an oil finish. So I was able to apply all the finish and not have to worry so much about the gunk sitting in those two racing stripes. Because when we go back over it with a cloth, I was able to really dig my fingernails into those two grooves and get all the dust out of there. And now we flip it over and make sure that we get all of the other side. And you can really see a good difference between what's been coated and what hasn't been coated around the rim of the wheel, which is pretty awesome. And now we're going to go for a little bit of a ride because I've got to get my chair that my camera is on back into position so we can allow this wheel to sit for 30 minutes. So here we go. Going for a ride. And I've got 2 towels on my chairs to support the wheel crankshaft. And it has to sit like this for 30 minutes. And then we come back and wipe it with a microfiber cloth to soak up all of the excess oil that isn't already in the wood. And this is when I really get into those grooves really good to get all the dust off and out of there so it doesn't get stuck. And that is everything. thank you guys again so much for being subscribers. Thank you again for watching this video. I hope you found it, if not entertaining, at least interesting to see the steps that need to happen to get this wheel completely finished. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And until next time, happy spinning.